So, there you are, that's history. One of the things we're going to talk about here, or main thing we're going to talk about, is what happened in 2017. And who can miss the opportunity with so many politicians of different types in the studio, then talk about the snap election. And the man to defend the snap election, Ben Bradley.
Great election.
Conservative.
Perfect election.
In what way?
Well,
imperfect election.
It was a total surprise. I worked for a MP who was a government whip previously, and I was stood in the office, in his office in London, when the election was announced. I asked him 5 minutes before, what do you think this announcement is from Theresa May at 11 o'clock? And he said, I can guarantee you, not an election.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, it was probably direct rule in Northern Ireland or something like that, but I guarantee it's not an election. 5 minutes later, we had an election called, and it was a bit panic stations down there.
Did you already know that when the next election would come, that you would be standing somewhere or Mansfield?
Well, to be honest, I've been talking about Mansfield for a long time and trying to convince the Conservative Party nationally that it was worth chucking some resource into this place, because I certainly felt that people weren't happy. And when you consider that, you know, there's been no real Conservative presence here for a long time, but there was still wasn't a Labour council, they still chose to not vote Labour, then we thought there was an opportunity to do well. But I've been around for kind of 6-9 months prior to the election and starting to get involved and try and build some support locally.
It's Christmas, you're standing next to the Reverend, he's still a Reverend, David Fudger, yeah? So you've got to be honest. So, or him upstairs will strike you down with a bolt of lightning. Yeah. I know you spoke positively. Did you really believe you could beat Sir Alan Neil at that stage, or did you just think, I'll prove to the Conservative Party I'm worthy of putting up somewhere else when there's a chance of winning?
No, we did, genuinely. And I think it takes somebody from around here to understand people around here and the atmosphere.
You don't come from around here, you don't come from Mansfield.
No, he lives a long, long way. There's a point that I made.
Sid was the most local candidate.
Are you suggesting that he lived too far away, and are you suggesting he's too young?
A bit of both.
A good 8-9 miles away I live, so I'm practically foreign. But I think it was a real challenge for us to try and convince people in London, where obviously all these political parties are based, about how things were here, but we certainly believe we could do it.
Paul Bradshaw, now the press officer of the Labour Party, how did you react when you heard there was going to be a snap election?
Well, I wasn't surprised because as part of the Vote Leave campaign, I'd followed the various machinations of all the politicians, and I couldn't believe how badly things were being handled. And I did think that you mentioned that Theresa May would want to go to the country to get an even bigger mandate to do what she and her party and her supporters want to do. So I wasn't entirely surprised. I'm surprised at the timing of it, but I wasn't surprised that there was going to be a snap election.
Did you have any feeling that Labour could do as well as they did generally in that election at that time? I mean, Jeremy Corbyn hadn't actually come out with a glowing halo around his head, media-wise, had he?
Well, I'm not a politico, I'm a Labour Party member, but I have to say that I thought that there was this split between the metropolitan elite, if you like, in both parties, and everybody else out in the sticks. Step outside of London, every single region voted to leave if you amalgamate the votes. Every region without exception. So there was always going to be this divide, both in Conservative and in Labour, in terms of what we do next. And, you know, remember going into it, more than 85% of politicians who were in Westminster voted to remain, not to leave. So they were being told to do something they didn't want to do.